Hi friends, my name is Susie and I would like to talk to you about LARP fitness. I have a collection of 6 moves for battlefield strength, and they are individual exercises that I've picked up through other workout videos, other routines. You can add them into your own routine, craft your own routine around them. These are just 6 individual things that will help you specifically for buffer combat. First thing I want to talk to you about is jump rope. Jump rope is a great warm-up to get your heart rate going, to get your blood flowing. It is great for your wrists to get them loosened up, and it is great for footwork agility. So when I started jumping rope, it was the first cardio I ever tried, and I would have this uneven stance. I wasn't ready for running yet. This is probably the most mellow you could do jump rope. It's not ideal because you'll see my back leg is flipping a little more than my front leg. So if you're gonna start lower impact like this, just make sure you occasionally switch your lead leg. Try to keep your body developed as symmetrical as you can. If you have a little more cardio experience and your ankles and knees are ready for a little more impact, there are 4 different ways I like to jump rope in my standard jump rope warm-up. And one is running in place with butt kicks for my calves. Looks like that. I then switch to running in place with high knees for my quads and hip flexors, which looks like this. Get your knees higher than your hips if you can. Make sure you're engaged in your core and moving, leaning forward a little so you're not like hurting your back, throwing it out. And then the last one, I do little bunny hops, only if I'm ready for impact. Listen to your body. There's a lot of variants available for jump ropes. But if your knees are great, one leg at a time, bunny hops. I won't do this for more than 15 seconds though, and I'll switch. Trust me, you'll get plenty tired. And then both legs at a time, you can get feisty and do it double time. Or you can do double unders. I don't always achieve those well. Double unders are maximum intensity. I don't know how people do multiple reps of them. And the next thing I want to talk to you about for battlefield strength is 2 different types of lunges. Lunges are great for core stability, for leg strength, and for accuracy of your feet, your agility, your footwork. I have found a triangle lunge to be the most efficient way to get all directions stabilized in my body. So I will use visual cues to help. Put some tape down if you need. I'll just find that little white spot on the floor. And you're going to lunge in 3 different directions. Make yourself a little triangle. I am moving to the right, so I will have my right leg be the one that moves for the first 2. Lunge to my spot, come together. Now, for the second leg of your triangle, it's a reverse lunge, but the right leg is the one doing the stepping. Lunge to my spot. And then once you're on this spot, your left leg steps out to do your side lunge. Tips about lunges. Right leg, come to the right. There's my white spot. You want to have integrity in your ankles, so make sure you're not collapsing here, especially, same leg, especially as you're going into the reverse lunge. Strong and stable ankles. And when you're doing your side lunge, you don't want to overextend. It's easy to do. Try to keep your butt down and your knee over your ankle. And the knees, when you're in a regular lunge, 90 degrees. You also want to switch directions for your triangle. So now my right leg is stepping to the right, but when I'm going up and into the left one is what comes to that same white spot. For the forward lunge, left continues to the left of the second leg of my triangle, which I'm aiming at the middle of my mat. Same distance in both directions, a set of 3 lunges, good lateral motion, good core stability, good leg strength. Last tip about lunges is also the athletic arms coordinating. It actually takes a little bit of mental work. And if you don't do it perfectly, it's okay. Like if you're moving the wrong wrong arm with the wrong leg. As long as you are assisting with some athletic arm motion, it'll make a difference to your lunges success. Triangle lunge. That's version number 1. Version number 2 for leg strength that I love for battlefield is the front to back lunge. I learned it from P90X3 Dynamics video, which is a video that's all about range of motion and loosening up your legs. And I got so excited for it because you get the one stabilizing leg very strong, and the other leg has these big tall steps up for range of motion. And then you stay on that stable leg, whoop, modify if you need to, and do a backwards lunge. You'll see I just had a little screw up and I had to tap my toe in between to stay stable. But ideally you just go back and forwards with these big steps up. This balance pose, this hip flexor quad strength, that is going to give you explosive speed in your legs. Your startup and initiation and speed, a lot of that comes from your quads and hip flexors. So front to back lunges, great stability, great strength. Of course, switch sides. Now your other one leg is very strong and stable, not moving, just balancing for you. And your other leg, with athletic arms assisting, is doing big steps into a forward lunge, and then the same big step into a back lunge. My lunges could use some cleaning up. You want this to be 90. You want your ankles, the ankle stability is really important too. Don't collapse. Keep your ankles good. 3 more moves. We are now focusing more on core and arms. As I have mentioned, stability is really important and lateral motion is really important. So why not do a side plank? It's good for both of them. Tips about side plank. Fingers spread so you have a nice wide base. Keep your wrist under your shoulder. It always is a little tricky to find that exact right angle. And then as you go up into it, you want to double check your posture in a couple ways. You don't want to pitch back or forwards. You want the back or forth to be right in the middle, and you also don't want to twist up or down too much. An intensification for a side plank can be a leg lift, but the most important thing, and I think the most helpful thing about a leg lift, I got a scooch to show you, is you can check on your alignment by the angle of your foot. If you're like flailing up here, that's something's weird with your pelvis and hips. If you can keep your toes below your ankle and your hip high, then that is nice alignment and you will start to feel a burn in your hip. Do it on both sides. We are working on shoulders, obliques, hips, stability and strength, because all of those things are involved in battlefield strength, in hip high alignment. It might not be pretty at first, but yeah, stability and strength on the battlefield for your lateral motion. And of course, I've got to talk about your striking, your wrap shots. So I have 2 strength moves for your arms. The first one, I don't do my heaviest lift. I use a medium weight because I stand up and I do both arms at the same time. I have this combination, hammer curl and bicep curl. It's always great to have strong biceps for both wrap shots and returns. But this hammer curl, let me talk to you about. You anchor your elbows and you have strong engaged core, pull your shoulders back a little bit, and you are pulling the weights up from a hand that's up and down like that. You see what I'm talking about? Because where you'll feel this is your forearm. Forearm strength, forearm muscle mass is what's going to get you a fast wrap shot. And then you might as well just turn it into an extra little bicep curl to be efficient there. You can get another muscle. Forearms and biceps are hit with this. And the very last move I want to talk to you about is something that I like to do heavier. So I sit down and isolate one arm at a time. A shoulder press with a full twist. I'll even put a hand on my tummy so I can be sure my core is engaged, my shoulders are back, I'm not compensating with my back in any weird way, and I'm isolating my shoulder muscle. My palm is in towards me, and as I extend, I twist it the whole way out. Susie, what's the twisting good for? Guess what? It's stabilizing muscles. More stabilizing muscles. Your wrist is always twisting quickly for those wrap shots. Your shoulder and your bicep, they're working hard not only to extend your wrap shot, but to return your wrap shot. So your shoulders and your wrists and your elbows, you want to stabilize all of that. Slower is more time under tension. Do both sides. For lifting weights, I'm not going to tell you how heavy to lift or how many sets or reps to do. It's based on how you feel. For me, when I'm doing a heavy version, I feel as though I'm working and burning after like 8 to 12 reps. Never compromise form. If you ever feel like you are using a different part of your body or you're not isolating the muscle you're working on, then your form is compromised. Do fewer reps or do a lower weight. There you have it. Those are 6 of my favorite moves to strengthen your body and get you ready for the motion required to LARP and do boffer combat. Hope it helps. Have fun.